Alright guys, it's TommooGamingHD here and welcome to F1 Friday! It's Monday. F1 Mondays. That's right, Paddy, it's F1 Mondays. Just for this week, alright, so quit your complaining. I've had a very busy weekend, so we decided to do the F1 Fridays on a Monday. Okay? Thank you. So here we are in China for round 3 of the F1 career mode. We are in the McLaren as always, and I noticed a little irregularity. There we go, we got the word out. In the qualifying lineup. Now, I saw that if we got out very early, we might be able to put a dry lap in while everyone else would be struggling, because as you can see, it is raining. Or well, it's starting to rain, and I thought if I put myself out there, I might be able to get a quicker lap than other people. But I was struggling with the drips and drops of rain. I was struggling to get a grip of the car. But I'm trying my best to get around here as quick as I can, because otherwise I'm going to be on intermediate tyres. Or if I am on dries, I'm going to go flying into the wall. So we're coming up into the last few corners. I'm not really expecting much from this Grand Prix, because we're at a place where you can see there's a massive long straight, and we've really struggled with pace this season so far. Now, I had a look at the makeup of the car. The aerodynamics are brilliant, the suspension's fantastic, and the power is goddamn awful. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, wow, Tom, shut the fuck up. But we need to upgrade the power. That is something that I'm interested to do. But as you can see now, we're coming into the last corner. We're going to get to the cutscene and tell you what position we have qualified for the Chinese Grand Prix.
It's time to find out which driver is up to the task of claiming the Chinese Grand Prix. We're here in Shanghai. We start a lap here at Shanghai with the long, difficult right-handers of turns 1 and 2, the first of 16 corners that make up this 3.3-mile circuit. The incredibly long back straight provides the best passing opportunity of the lap, with speeds in excess of 200 miles per hour before the braking zone of turn 14. Alongside me to discuss all the action today is Anthony Davidson. Thanks for joining us, Ant. And tell me, you were down in the pit lane earlier. How do you think the track conditions are today?
Well, the surface looks clean enough, but I'm a little bit worried about the track temperature. It's pretty cool out there, which could give some teams difficulties when it comes to keeping their tyres in the right operating window. The cars out there that work their tyres hard and really put a lot of energy through them, they'll be the ones that are better off.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Norris, Daniel Ricciardo, and Raikkonen, Butler, Albon, Hülkenberg, and Pierre Gasly, Grosjean, Thomas, Lucas Faber, and Verstappen, Bottas, Magnussen, Robert Kubica, and Antonio Giovinazzi. Perez and George Russell ends our grid lineup, and with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
So as you can see there, the best qualifying we have had of this campaign so far. We're up to 12th. Our teammate somehow is in 4th. We're getting a start here. We've got faster cars around us. We've got medium speeded cars in front of us. This Grand Prix is going to be incredible. So what I will tell you at the start of this Grand Prix, as we try and hold off Valtteri Bottas into the first corner, is that I opted to not do the strategy that the team told me to do. They wanted me to go on mediums first and then the harder tyre, and I decided, you know what, the last few Grand Prix, we've not really done anything, so what is the point of me following their instructions, and why don't I try something different? Hopefully that will give us a bit of an advantage. But as we come into the first few corners, we've got, oh my goodness, is that Magnussen trying it up at the inside? So we decided to go with the harder tyre first, and my reasoning behind that was the fact that there's so many, you know, slower, I wouldn't say slower, but cars around our pace that are in front of us. They're going to slow the faster cars up, ruin their tyres, and maybe we can be able to put on the faster tyre towards the end. But here we are on lap 1. You can see already Bottas and the rest of the gang have decided, yeah, fuck Tommy D, we're going. And I'm struggling for pace right here. But my reasoning behind it was literally just that. I thought that maybe if I hang on long enough, maybe I can get a slipstream and stuff like that, and I can just about hang on to the cars in front of us. And you know, when it comes to push and shove, I've got the faster tyre, I've got the nicer tyre towards the end of the Grand Prix. But we'll see what happens with that. We've got Bottas in front of us. We've got No, we've not got Grosjean behind us. We've got Hulken. Oh no, Magnussen behind us. We'll get there sometime today. Magnussen is behind us as Bottas tries to make his way through the field. He was one of the guys who was caught out by the ever-changing scenarios in qualifying. But as you can see here, we got a fantastic exit off the last corner. We've just not got any speed at all. So that is something that I need to work around in the practice sessions to try and get, you know, a bit faster. As you can see here, we're on lap number 3, and we've got, oh my goodness me, Magnussen is trying it around the outside into the first few corners. I'm going to try my best to defend around Magnussen because I need to sort of fight the cars that I think I'm going to finish around rather than the cars that I know are going to finish in front of me. So if Bottas is behind me or a faster car, I'm just going to let them through. There's no point in fighting and wasting time. As you can see here, Magnussen manages to dive around the inside on lap number 4, I believe it is, or lap number 3 going into 4. But he's absolutely outpaced us there, and yeah, we're sitting ducks here really because we're on the slower tyre. Magnussen's got a long way to go on them the medium tyres. But as you can see here, he absolutely burns us for pace going into there, and we're struggling here. And now we're going to have a fight with, I believe it's Giovinazzi. Giovinazzi on the outside, but we're going to try and push him wide. I need to be more aggressive in this race. That's what a couple of people have said on Twitter. You know, I'm not as aggressive. I don't want to cause an accident, and that is a problem. You know, I think that I need to keep up that. But here we are on lap number 9, I believe. And I think we're in position 8 or position 7. Or we're in position 6. You know, we're sort of like, sort of in the section of where people are pitting and we've not pitted yet. But Leclerc was one of those who pitted pretty early because of the tyres. I believe he's gone onto the mediums to try and go to the end of the race, so 20 odd laps on those. But we are in P7 at the moment, and you can see Magnussen's in front of us there. And I believe that Lewis Hamilton is behind us. And like I said before, I'm not going to fight him. I'm just going to let him drift around the inside. I'm going to go a bit wider into this corner to try and save a bit of time and hopefully pick up his slipstream going into this last section, because I can't, there's no point in me battling him. There is literally no point. But here we are. Lap number 12, we've got Grosjean and Magnussen fighting out on the inside. They're on the medium tyres, we're on the harder tyres. We're going to go around the outside. We managed to get one of them. Can we get both of them done in this section? We're going to squeeze out Magnussen there, and somehow we managed to take both positions. We're in P6, and we haven't pitted yet. But as you can see here, we go massively wide to try and get both of them. They are definitely struggling on those tyres. We've got a bit of life left in ours. And like I said, people are being held up left, right and centre by other cars. As you can see here, George Russell is having a problem with his Williams. He is out of the race. You might have seen there as well, Hulkenberg is also out of the race. So that is 2 of the cars out of the race. They weren't really fighting us, but there you go. On lap number 15, we go into the pit. Bottas just overtook us there. Obviously, he's in the faster car. We let him pass, that's fine. But we're going into the pits here. We finally decide to duck in on lap number 14. We've got, I think it's 14 laps left. We've got, I think, lap 28. We've got, 28 laps or something like that. So we decided, you know, it's time to come in. We've got plenty of time to come out, and we get held up in the pits by Perez. Perez decides to come in and ruin what we had there. Decided to take away any chance of a quick pit stop. But as we're leaving the pits, we end up in P number 14 with a lot of work to do, but we are on the faster tyres. Who knows where we're going to end up in this race. We have Kevin Magnussen in front of us. They undercut us and managed to get a massive boost out of that because we absolutely did them around that corner. But Magnussen here is in front of us on the slower tyre, but as you can see, they get a lot of pace coming out of this corner. Even with DRS and the slipstream, we're struggling to catch him up. I mean, he'll have slipstream on his teammate, but look at this. Like, we're struggling big time to keep up with him. We're going to try and make a move around the outside, hopefully. He seems to go slower there because his teammate's there, and we managed to take him. We've overtook someone on track. We get past Magnussen, and now we set our sights on Roman Grosjean, who is just in front. We are on to the next lap, lap 17, and you can see here Grosjean is struggling for pace compared to us, and that's something that I never thought I'd ever say. We're having to slow down in a sense because his tyres are not as fast as ours. Ours are relatively fresh as well. He had to go in rather early compared to us. I think 2 or 3 laps before us, he went into the pits. Maybe that's why he ended up in front of us, because we were slower on that tyre. But as you can see here, we're smashing through the lap times. We're not managing to speed up in this corner. This is a corner that I really couldn't cope with, purely because we've got no actual like straight line pace compared to the other drivers. But here you go, Roman Grosjean is there. Can we manage to catch up? We've got DRS, we've got Slipstream. He's miles ahead of us. We're not going to catch him into this corner, but let's see what we can do in the next few corners. We dug around the inside! Coming into this last corner, we go very, very wide there on Roman Grosjean. I think he's going to get overtaken by his teammate. That was a bit of a cheeky move, but we made that late dive. We gave him a bit of room, but that was quite cheeky there, and I really wanted to get past him. But as you can see here, we're up to P10. We are in the points. Can you believe this? We have 10 laps left, and we have Lucas Weber here in front of us. We don't even have DRS. We've just got Slipstream. We have DRS now. Slipstream. We've put it into rich mode. Can we get past? Can we get into P9? I cannot believe this. We're in the points, boys. We're in P9. What an amazing turn of events here. We do have 10 laps left. We know that there are faster cars behind us. So let's see where we end up with this, because this is absolutely brilliant. So the last few laps, I've been trying to save fuel because, can you believe it? We've managed to stay where we are in the position. We had to save fuel because I used like a lap worth of fuel trying to get these guys. Oh my goodness. Danny Ricciardo here on the last lap. Can we get up to P8? In fact, so what I've been doing is putting it into slow mode, sorry, in attempts to save the fuel, because we used a lot of the fuel trying to keep up with guys in front of us and stuff like that. But we've managed to get onto the right amount of fuel, so we're on the green side rather than being on the red side. So it means that we can push towards Danny Ricciardo. We've been fighting him for 2 laps, I believe. But we could have caught him sooner if we'd have kept on the same fuel. But obviously, I wanted to make sure we had enough fuel for the end. So here we are with Danny Ricciardo. We're on the last lap. Lewis Hamilton takes the Grand Prix. What an amazing win for him. He needed that in terms of getting back into the fight with the top drivers. But here we are with Danny Ricciardo. Can we catch him into this last lap? I mean, I've been trying to save fuel. I didn't expect to be up here in the points. I mean, we've struggled for points all season. But here we are. We've got Danny Ricciardo in our sights. We've got DRS. We've got the Slipstream. Can we get past him? It's an amazing move. We're going to get past him. Unbelievable stuff. We are up to P8 in our 3rd race in a team that have really been struggling for pace. But there we go. We're past Danny Ricciardo, and we're going to finish the race surely in P8. I cannot believe that the team have managed to pull this together. We've had an amazing run, and I cannot tell you how much I am buzzing about that. We have a double points finish because Lando manages to put himself into 6th position. What a race from the McLaren boys, and I am absolutely over the moon with that. We had some great overtakes in that race. My favourite race so far. We used the tactics very well. Like I said, the rain caught everyone out apart from like us and a few of the lower teams further down the grid who will usually come out early in the pits anyway. But Bottas was below us, and he manages to finish 3rd. What an amazing race for him. Vettel finished 4th, Leclerc finished 2nd, we finished 8th, Lando finished 6th, Weber and Butler outside of the points, so that's great for us. But what a race. I mean, we used the tactics very, very well in my opinion. I think that going on the slower tyre first and then deciding to change up made a massive difference, in my opinion, that we managed to stick around the slower, the other runners because they were being held up. And obviously we had the faster tyre towards the end, and even though we didn't have the pace in the straight line, we had the tyre speed, and that made a massive difference, and we managed to get into the points. So coming up into the next few races, we need to think, can we manage to power up this engine and get us fighting the points consistently? Is this a one-off? Is this going to happen all the time? I'm not too sure, but the full classification is going to be on your screen in a second. What a race for us, and I cannot believe this is the first time we've scored points. Lando was absolutely incredible. I couldn't get anywhere near him. Pierre Gasly finished just below him. We've finished there. Danny Ricciardo. Sergio Perez just got in front of Lucas Weber, and that was the guy I was worried about most. I thought that maybe he would come in and absolutely change the race. But I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. You know, it's been a fantastic race for me to commentate over. I really enjoyed it, and here are the highlights.